Listen, you think she's moved on. You think you're just a deleted contact in her phone, a chapter she's closed, a mistake she's forgotten. But here's what you don't know. The human mind doesn't forget people the way we think it does, especially not someone who made her feel something real. Even if she acts like you never existed, even if she's cold when you run into her, even if she told everyone she's over it. And I'm about to show you something that's going to sound absolutely insane. But once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. There are signs subtle, psychological, impossible to fake. In fact, there's one thing women do. Sign number 6, that's so unconscious, so revealing. It basically proves she's been replaying your conversations in her head like a movie she can't stop watching. And if you know what to look for, you'll realize something powerful. You're not gone from her world. You're living in her head. But here's the catch. Most men see these signs every single day and completely misread them. They think she's being distant when actually she's obsessing. And there's a scientific reason why the more she ignores you, the more you're actually consuming her thoughts. It sounds backwards, but I'll prove it to you in the next 60 seconds. I'm going to show you the exact signals that prove she's still thinking about you. Not the obvious ones, the hidden ones, the ones she doesn't even realize she's giving away. And there's one sign in particular, sign number 4, that's so psychologically revealing. Relationship therapists use it to determine if someone has truly moved on or if they're still emotionally attached. And I guarantee she's doing it right now without even knowing what it means. Because when you understand this, everything changes. You stop second guessing, you stop wondering, and you start seeing the truth. Stay with me because at sign number 7, I'm going to reveal something that'll make your jaw drop. She's doing something with every guy she meets after you, and it proves you've become an impossible standard in her mind. No one's told you this before. This isn't about hope. This is about psychology. And by the end of this, you'll know exactly where you stand in her mind. But first, let me show you why your brain is completely lying to you right now, and why silence is actually the loudest confession she's never making. Why your brain is lying to you right now. Here's what's messing with your head. She's not texting you. She's not liking your posts. She acts like you're invisible. So your brain fills in the blanks. She's forgotten me. I meant nothing. She's probably with someone else. But here's the truth. Most men never learn. Silence doesn't mean indifference. Distance doesn't mean you're forgotten. In fact, I'm about to tell you something that's going to flip everything you think you know upside down. Psychology tells us something fascinating. The more someone tries to avoid thinking about you, the more mental energy they're spending on you. It's called thought suppression, and it backfires every single time. When she tells herself, I'm not going to think about him, her brain does the opposite. It marks you as important, as unfinished business. And here's where it gets disturbing. Harvard researchers found that trying not to think about someone actually makes you think about them 3 to 4 times more often. Let that sink in. Every time she tells herself to forget you, her brain is literally forcing her to remember you, which means her silence might be the loudest confession she's never making. But wait, there's more to this that'll blow your mind. Studies show that when someone actively avoids your social media, avoids places you might be, avoids even saying your name, that's not indifference, that's active resistance. And you only resist what still has power over you. Think about it. When was the last time you went out of your way to avoid someone you truly didn't care about? Never, because they don't even register. But there's something even more revealing than her silence, and it has to do with how women process emotions differently than men. When a man moves on, he checks out completely. Cold, done, radio silence. But when a woman goes quiet, that's not always closure. Sometimes it's self-protection. She's creating distance because the feelings are still there and she doesn't want to deal with them. So before you assume she's forgotten you, you need to know about sign number 1, because if you're seeing this, she's basically conducting digital surveillance on your life. And the pattern is eerily specific. Sign number 1, the 3:00 a.m. digital footprint. She's not reaching out directly, but she's watching your Instagram stories viewed within the first hour. But here's what's creepy. Check the timestamp. Is she viewing them late at night, early morning? That's not casual browsing. That's insomnia driven by overthinking. Your LinkedIn, she's checking your profile, your mutual friends, she's asking about you in the most casual way possible. Oh, how's he doing? Just curious. But here's the part that sounds like fiction, but is absolutely real. Social media platforms track not just if someone views your profile, but how often and how long they stay. If she's checking your page multiple times a week, spending minutes scrolling through your photos, that's not casual. That's compulsive. This is the digital version of driving past your house. She's monitoring your life without admitting she cares. But here's what makes this really interesting. She's not just watching randomly. There's a pattern. She checks right after posting something herself, or late at night, or right after she knows you've been online. Why does this happen? Because curiosity is emotional interest in disguise. If you truly didn't matter, she wouldn't waste a second checking up on you. And get this, if she's viewing your stories, but not the stories of other guys she used, to date, you're in a category by yourself. But here's the key, she won't engage directly. That would expose her. So she stays in the shadows, watching, wondering, keeping tabs. If you notice this pattern, understand what it means. You're still occupying space in her mental real estate. But the next sign is even more revealing because it shows she's not just thinking about you passively. She's actively managing her emotions around you. And the way she does it, it's actually a textbook psychological defense mechanism that therapists see all the time. Sign number 2, the response time algorithm. When you do reach out, she doesn't ignore you, but she doesn't reply right away either. 2 hours, 5 hours, sometimes a full day. And when she does respond, it's short, controlled, like she's editing every word. Here's what most guys think. She's not interested. She's being polite. Wrong. Dead wrong. Immediate responses show indifference. It means you're just another notification. But calculated delays, that's emotional management. She's thinking about what to say, how to sound, whether to seem too available or too distant. Here's the part that'll blow your mind. Psychologists did a study on response patterns in romantic communication. They found that when someone delays a response to you specifically but responds quickly to others, you're emotionally significant, not irrelevant. Significant. If she truly didn't care, she'd reply instantly without a second thought or not reply at all. The fact that she's taking time means you're triggering something, but there's one specific response pattern that reveals even more. And when you see this, you'll know for certain she's been staring at your message, typing, deleting, and rewriting her response. If she sends long messages when she finally replies, but took hours to send them, she wrote, deleted, rewrote, and overthought every word, that's not indifference. That's someone who cares too much about how they come across to you. And here's something that sounds too specific to be true, but happens constantly. If her replies are shorter late at night but longer during the day, she's fighting the urge to be vulnerable with you when her guard is down. Nighttime is when emotions peak. Daytime is when logic takes over. If she's giving you different energy at different times of day, you're living in 2 parts of her brain. Now, here's where it gets really fascinating. Sign number 3 reveals that you're not just in her head privately. You're leaking into her actual conversations with other people, and she doesn't even realize she's doing it. Sign number 3, the name that won't stay silent. This one's subtle. You're not even talking to her directly, but through mutual friends, you hear something. She mentioned you the other day. She asked if you're seeing anyone. She brought up that thing you guys used to do. Wait, hold on. Why is she talking about you when you're not even in the room? Let me tell you something that sounds almost unbelievable. Psychologists call this intrusive recollection. It's when memories of someone pop into your head uninvited and then slip out in conversation without you planning it. Why is this happening? Because you're leaking into her conversations. She can't help it. When someone is truly forgotten, they don't come up. They're gone from the narrative. But when someone is still in your thoughts, they slip out in random moments. A song reminds her of you, a place, a joke, and suddenly your name is in her mouth. This is one of the strongest indicators because it's unintentional. It's her subconscious showing what her conscious mind is trying to hide. But here's what really reveals the depth of it. Pay attention to when she brings you up. Is it when she's talking about relationships, about what she wants, about past memories? If she's inserting you into conversations about her future or her standards, brother, you're not just a memory, you're a blueprint. And here's something that will make you think twice. If mutual friends tell you she gets defensive when they ask about you, that's not disinterest. That's emotional protection. People only get defensive about topics that make them vulnerable. But nothing, and I mean nothing, compares to what sign number 4 reveals. This one is so psychologically transparent, it's almost uncomfortable to watch when you know what to look for. Relationship experts use this exact behavior to determine if someone is emotionally available or still hung up on an ex. The truth you need to hear. Here's the bottom line. If you're seeing even 2 or 3 of these, signs you're not forgotten, not even close. You're a presence in her thoughts, an unresolved chapter, a name that keeps surfacing when she doesn't expect it. But here's what you need to understand. Just because she's thinking about you doesn't mean you should chase. In fact, the worst thing you can do right now is get desperate. Show up in her DMs begging for answers. Overanalyze every little move. Because here's the real secret. The more you're living well without her, the louder you become in her mind. Every photo you post where you're thriving, that's a reminder of what she walked away from. Every story where you're happy, that's making her question her decision. The best revenge isn't bitterness. It's becoming so undeniably better that she realizes what she lost. Focus on yourself. Build your life. Become the version of you that's undeniable. And if she's meant to come back, she will. But you'll be in a position where you get to choose what happens next, not her. That's real. Power. Now, I need to know, are you seeing these signs? Have you been misreading her distance as disinterest when it's actually the opposite? Drop a comment with the word aware if this just changed how you see everything. And hit that subscribe button because next video I'm revealing the exact psychology behind why women suddenly come back the moment they see you've truly moved on. The timing is never random. There's a psychological trigger, and I'm going to show you exactly what it is. You don't want to miss that.